Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm Mike Stansbury, and today, all the way from St. Louis, I think the Cardinals are on a 10-game win streak or something like that. Bill Broeker. Bill, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Excellent, sir. Excellent. And thanks for coming on. We're going to get into your origin story and have a lot of fun with you today. But first, we're going to talk to you about Investor Fuel. At Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to live the lives they've always dreamed of. Bill, what is the origin story in real estate? Kind of what's your background? Tell me how you get started in this. And what's the yellow brick road for you?
If we go back to the beginning, I started off in the trades, just like a lot of guys did. I started off as a shingler in the trades, and my father and I started a very successful roofing business we had for a long time, and that allowed me essentially to start flipping farms. I did that back in the day when you can make good money doing that. Then 2008 hit, and that changed everything. I'm sure you've been around for a few years. You know the drill. We got out of the roofing business, and I eventually went to work for people in a real estate business and kind of learned this business from the inside out. What to do, what not to do. So that's the origin of me. My partner and I split off on our own. We started our own thing about 3 months ago, and we're getting ready to close on our first flip tomorrow. So
all right, as a partnership, that's pretty awesome. So tell me a little about flipping farms. Because, what's great about real estate is when somebody says, yeah, I'm in real estate, it could just mean a whole host of things. And one of those things is land and flipping farms. Mm-hmm. Kind of give me a story about maybe your first farm or maybe a creative deal that you did.
My first farm was in Appanoose County, Iowa. It's 160 acres. The first one we ever flipped. Back then, you could go to the auction and buy them. That's where you got your deals. Go in. It's just like flipping a house. You go in, clean things up, structure. If you're a hunter, if you know that world, you would set it up for a deer hunter, or if it's something that could be made where it's more valuable and tillable, you would convert things over from CRP grasses to tillable and raise the value. And back in the day, within 3 to 6 months, you can make easy $300 an acre on a farm. And that was about the time outdoor television was taking off. And everything changed after that. So,
now, what did that change in the market for those people who weren't running around or maybe not know about farms? What did that change?
It drove value through the roof. I mean, there's pieces of ground right now that I look every once in a while. I'll look them up and see what they're worth, just out of curiosity. Stuff I bought for $600, $700, $800 an acre is now $4,000 to $5,000.
How about that?
And we're talking 20 years time.
And what drove this was outdoor advertisement.
Yeah, the hunting industry.
Hunting industry. Okay, gotcha.
Really,
Yep.
Really drove that, Plus, ag has always been strong. There hasn't been a real downturn in ag in 25 years. So, and there's a lot of competition in that arena right now.
Yeah, we need the land to grow the vegetables and the food, and for the pigs and for the cows and
So
and the chickens.
That market has faded away. If you can
Right.
find a deal on a farm, you're a very lucky guy.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Right.
Yeah, they're just not there anymore.
And what's interesting about St. Louis and your market, so you've got Iowa right to the, is that to the north of you?
Yes,
to
sir.
the north. Yep,
Yeah.
north, and then Illinois to the east. And so you got all those possibilities there. Memphis is kind of like that, where we have Mississippi right to the south and
Yeah.
Arkansas. And we can get into Missouri a little bit, but not too much because it's just a little north of us. So you had the roofing company and you're in the trades. So you worked for the investors. What was, you worked for, I guess, REITs, and then you worked for maybe individual investors. Kind of tell me what the day-to-day life was like for Bill and his team for real
REIT
estate
I worked
investors.
for, I headed up the estimating and the inspections to make sure they would pass we have what's called occupancy inspection here in St. Louis. It's not privy to a lot of markets, but we're the unfortunate market that gets hammered with that. My job was to tell them what rehabs cost, what they needed to fix it, if they needed to keep it, or to buy a property. I was the guy that went in and said, yeah, this is good to buy. So it was a lot of fun, but things come and go, better opportunities come, and you move on. Then I went to work for a guy here that advertised on TV. We buy houses, and you know the deal. I was promised something, and it wasn't that when I got there. So it was totally.
Did he promise you a piece of the action when they sold?
Bonuses. Yeah, never seen
Yeah.
them.
Right.
Yeah. So, but that's his business model. We'll let him keep doing his thing, and best of luck to him.
Right.
So.
Yeah. Okay. And so now you're doing flips on your own. Tell me about this deal that you got, and tell me about the exit strategy. What's that look like, Bill?
We got two exit strategies. This deal is up in Florissant, and I'm sure you got listeners that are in St. Louis. They know that's the hottest market township to buy in St. Louis as far as rentals or flips right now. Right now,
What's driving the market there in that town?
It's been hot for 15 years.
Oh, wow.
15 years
Okay.
ago, you could have bought a house for $25,000. That same house in the same shape is well in the low hundreds. So it's just demand. It's a good rental area. It's C to maybe high D areas, and most of it. There's some B in there in certain sections, but it's just a great area for rentals. So it's very heavily populated. I think the city of Florissant alone is like 60,000.
Okay.
But if you're familiar with St. Louis, it's full of. There's probably 200 little townships like that.
Okay. Yep.
So
Yeah.
yes, in the lending world, but they have a high MSA.
So it's in there. And how did you procure the deal? Did you get it from a wholesaler, or did you guys procure it yourself?
It was an off-market pocket listing from an agent.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
You gotta. Internet's not everything. You gotta work your agents too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And talk about that nugget. Why is it important to have relationships with agents? I mean, obviously you just have the fruit of it right there, but yeah, what do you do to maintain those relationships? And tell me what that looks like in your world, Bill.
We bump into a lot of them at meetups, or we'll see they have a listing. We just reach out to them, start a conversation, because a lot of these guys are newer agents and they go through the training. They know what to do in a retail house, but a house that doesn't need work, they're lost. So we've gotten a few of them conditioned to start bringing us leads that way. Hey, I got a guy I can bring this to that can help me move it. So And if you're savvy, just let them keep both sides of the deal. Who cares? You got the real winning prize there in the end.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
Yeah, that's a way to do it, Bill. That's a great nugget, because one of the things that I always tell people is relationship with realtors. Realtors want to get paid, and you have to have the attitude that they don't get paid enough, like when you're talking to them, so that they will bring you those deals. And so, like they want the low hanging fruit. They want the listing they don't have to do a lot of work to. They don't have to tell the person to do the carpet to. But if they get one of those really trashed out deals, or there's a lot of value add because of they've just not taken care of the property for a while, you're a solution to their problem. They say, hey, we need to talk to this person directly, and you need to. I find that when realtors drive, you let them drive the whole conversation, as long as you tell them, hey, and I do this. I don't know if you do this, but if we get this, you'll keep all the commission, and then if I do list it, I'll list it to you. I'll list it at a discount. It'll be this percentage, but you'll get to list it as well. And I find that carrot has driven a lot of good deals my way, is letting them not only get at the back end, but they get the listing as well.
Yeah, and it builds loyalty. You know, my dad used to say, most people are about as loyal as their paychecks, and that's the truth. You keep the money flowing, you're going to have people that want to work with you. So, and you build friendships along the way too. That just takes time. You got to build the trust. So.
Yep, and reciprocation is one of those things where sometimes, even though you may have your license, I may have a license, that's not what I do for a living. You said it earlier. The bigger piece of the pie is when you flip the property or turnkey it, or however you want to dispose the property. But if you have a good relationship with a realtor, maybe you're sending people their way when you've got deals that don't fit your buy box, and that feeds the fire of, I got to find Bill a deal because he's just taking great care of me. And then they talk to their realtor friends, and they're like, well, I want to give Bill deals too and help him out and see what he can do for me.
And exactly what you said is starting to happen. It takes time. They're going to ignore you most of the time, the first couple calls or emails. But if you're fortunate enough to strike up a conversation with them and just be you and be open and honest and tell them exactly what your intentions are, they'll open up to you. Yeah.
So Bill, it's exciting that you're doing this flip. So what other markets do you have? So you mentioned smaller townships. I'm familiar with St. Louis only because I think my mother and father grew up there. My mother grew up on the Hill, and I think my dad grew up near Chaminade High School. Is that near Kirkwood? Where is that near?
Yeah, that's what we call. That is Kirkwood area.
Okay, gotcha.
Roads. Yeah.
Yeah. How are those markets? Those how's the Hill? How's Kirkwood? Was it
the Hill? Far as the city of St. Louis, I would encourage everybody to watch a documentary about the Hill. You'll find out what it's really about. Okay.
Right.
It's one of the most protected neighborhoods in St. Louis. It's very desirable. If you can find a good property there and you do a good job in the rehab, you're going to make a killing.
Yeah. My grandfather was the mayor, unofficial mayor of the Hill. He was the postman, so it's a walking route there.
Yeah.
So he walked the whole subdivision and knew everybody. And it's St. Ambrose Church. Are you familiar with that church?
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So St. Ambrose right in the middle. He retired, and then he did tours of the Hill. And then my Uncle Joey, his son, when my grandfather passed, did tours of the Hill as well. And they always started at St. Ambrose and ended around there. And it was super cool. That little town, that little city inside of the city, has got so much rich history. And it's super cool. You're exactly right. What are your favorite parts of the Hill or favorite restaurants to go to?
Oh, man, a lot of them are closing. That's the sad part.
Yeah, because the families are.
They're getting old and passing
Yep.
away, you know.
Yep.
I don't get down. I avoid the city like the plague. I live in the country, you know. I go there, do my business, and come home and listen to crickets chirp, you know.
Yeah.
So, Tony's down the hill is always good.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
That's, you know, there's a new restaurant, a newer called Carnivore. That's
Okay.
steak down there. It's your traditional Italian, you know. And I've got some friends that have family that have little like deli shops, and there's all kinds of that stuff down there. You can't get bad food on the hill. If you do, there's something wrong with you.
There's something wrong with you. You must not like Italian food or Italian people or something. Yeah, it's a wonderful place. It's changed so much because I've been going there, you know, ever since I was a kid. There's, you know, the new builds that they've done, and now they've got some multifamily apartments. In fact, my aunts live in an apartment on the hill now, and I think close by the St. Ambrose Church, but it still maintains that, you know, the hill culture, which is excellent, which is kind of sad. It's really cool that this little city has maintained this kind of hegemony of being Italian.
Yeah.
And it's interesting that we don't have more of that in different cultures. I remember my aunts and uncles talking about some people from what was it was one of the Eastern Bloc countries, but they had a hill to themselves as well back in the 40s and 50s. But then I guess it just wasn't maintained, and I forget what it was. It was some country I can't pronounce.
Yeah, it's if you're there around dark, there'll be people out walking their dogs, and this is St. Louis City.
Right. Yeah.
That's how safe the hill is. They don't allow the riffraff in. So
yeah, that's pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, so what are you going to be doing? So once you get this flip done, what is the goal to become full-time fix and flipper, or what's the vision for your life at this point?
We're gonna fix and flip as cash flow. I mean, if you're looking at it from a business standpoint, we'll do some wholesales, but it's buy and hold. It's stuff that's gonna really truly build enough money where I can retire and not work till I'm 70 years old. So
right. Yeah.
So
That's the dream.
Long-term vision, pretty much the same as everybody else, but you know, we got short-term goals. I don't need to be the biggest, baddest real estate investor in the country. I need my little piece of the pie where I'm happy and I'm good. So.
Yeah. Well, Bill, what else are you doing? Are you still doing some construction and some things for other investors as well while you're doing this, or are you putting that to aside, or what's your daily method of operation look like?
I still help guys that need rehab numbers. They'll come to me and want stuff like that. We'll help them out with that. As far as construction for anybody else, we're not doing that. So
okay.
Yeah, the previous employer I worked for, that was part of his business model, and that was difficult. That's a road I don't think I want to travel, because you deal with a lot of people that know nothing, and it was tough doing that.
Yeah, that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah.
So have you had a coach, or have you been part of a mastermind in real estate that has had a good effect on your ability to be a better investor? What does that look like for you, Bill?
Yeah, my partner teamed up with a coach that's helped tremendously, especially on his side, because he doesn't, you know, he's got a lot of experience, but he hasn't been in it for decades like I have, you know. It's the little nuances they teach you that you got to pay attention to that will really explode your business. Things that you may have thought of, but they'll look at it at a different angle and say, do this instead. Changes everything. So getting the right person on your team, I think, is critical, and especially in today's highly competitive market.
Yeah, I'd say I agree with that. Is having somebody to either look at the way you're doing business, and maybe they're a little more further down the road from you, and they can see obstacles that you can't see, or they can see things that you can't see and help you tweak. That's a really good, a good nugget, Bill. So the dream is to obviously cash flow and have enough money to retire. You're going to stay in St. Louis home forever?
No, I am moving to northern Missouri to the family farm.
Okay.
I'm gone, buddy. I'll come down here for weddings and funerals. So.
So is that farm an active farm, or what do we do? What do we do on the farm? Okay.
Yeah, it's a mix of everything. It's row crop. It's a hunting farm mainly that's got a lot of row crop. So we bought this farm in the late 90s, and it's increased in value like 25-fold since we bought it.
How about that? Yeah, and it's the family farm, Bill?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Cool. Yeah, what does your family look like? What does that look like? What's Bill after work? What does that look like?
Well, I spent a lot. I got a 6-year-old, so I've been called a grandpa already many times. So, my wife and we got married later in life. Went to Dominican with 2 and came back with 3. So
how about that?
We came back with, she was pregnant. So yeah, but I spend a lot of time doing stuff with my boy. And I'm teaching him a work ethic. I think that's important for kids.
Yes.
To be able to get out. He's only 6, but he still does stuff with Dad, and he wants to do stuff, which is good. I don't want my kid to be a iPad kid.
Yeah. Yes. So good. That's beautiful. So he's hanging around you. He's doing what you're doing. As early as you can do that. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. The only downside to that, when it's time to come in, it's a fight to get him to come in.
I want to stay out and work longer. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Bill, where can people find you at? Where yet on all the socials that people can watch what you're doing as far as your flips and some of the construction things? Tell me about that. What does that look like, Bill?
The easiest place to find us is Titan Investment Group on Facebook.
Okay.
We got our page set up there. That's the easiest, best. Shoot me a message. I'm always looking to network with people, always looking for lenders, always looking for deals, and I'm always looking to move a wholesale deal now and then. So.
Yes, sir. Beautiful.
So.
I like it. So, folks, look for them on Facebook. It's Titan Investments.
The Titan Investment Group.
Titan Investment Group. Look for Bill Broeker there. Bill, thank you for being a part of the Real Estate Pros podcast. Guys, the information about Bill will be in the show notes. So if you know some deals in St. Louis, send them his way, or he may be somebody to be good on your list as well to sell to and to buy from. So, Bill, thanks for being a part of the program.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
All right, sir. You have a good one.
You too.
And guys, have a great one. And see you next time on the Real Estate Pros podcast.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.